our backyard. Local businesses, they're gearing up for what they hope will be the best Masters ever. And after a year with no patrons, a year with limited patrons, it is a welcome sight for Augusta. Claire Allen live for us over at Top Golf, which planned to open 2 years ago, right around Masters Week, when the nation was just shutting down. And Claire, you can tell they are ready for this one, aren't they?
I'm ready. A lot of folks are ready in the CSRA for Masters Week. 2 weeks from today, Augusta will roll out the green carpet for folks, for thousands of people to come to Augusta for the Masters Week. And local spots I talked to say they are ready and are thrilled to get back into the swing of things. Get your clubs and your gloves ready. Masters Week is right around the corner, and local businesses like Top Golf are thrilled to welcome patrons back to the city.
This is going to be our first exposure to the real tournament itself, and we couldn't be more excited.
Top Golf was slated to open for the 2020 Masters, but the pandemic hit. Now, 2 years later, they are ready to show folks a good time.
Oh, the golf connection is huge. I mean, Top Golf is known for wanting to grow the game of golf, and what better place to do it than Augusta with the tournament going on?
When it comes to Masters Week, T-Bones has seen its fair share, but for the owner, it's more than business.
Being in business for over 36 years, we've made friends that come back year after year after year. It's going to be crazy. And it's a good crazy. Like I said, everybody's glad to be here. It's the Augusta National. It's golf's greatest golf tournament, and we just want to keep that ball rolling.
Both places say they are fired up for the big-time rush.
We're just glad to see our friends back.
Been waiting for this since 2020, so we're ready to go.
And another nearby new spot that's coming up looks like it's not going to make the opening for Masters Week. Dave & Buster's Construction has came a long way, though. We will keep you updated on their new opening date.
Now, a lot of excitement leading up to this year's Masters for obvious reasons. Claire, thanks for the live update there from Top Golf.
Georgia.
You recognize that voice? It is Augusta's own Charles Kelly, and with the Masters in mind, Lady A's Charles Kelly did team up with ESPN for this take on a classic. And as most of us know who live around here, Kelly grew up in Columbia County. He just released this rendition of Ray Charles' Georgia on My Mind, and he says getting to perform this song for ESPN's Masters coverage is really a true full circle moment for him. So pretty cool little Augusta history here.
That is really cool. Good local flair there for a good sound from Ray Charles. We do have a first alert in effect for Wednesday. We do have the possibility of some severe storms moving in. Much more on this forecast coming up.
And also ahead, fighting and overall violence on the rise in our schools here and around the country. We look at the numbers and what experts believe contributes to the problem, the I-Team investigation, when we come back.
Time and temp.
We are seeing more fighting, more violence, and more gun violence in schools across the country. Take a look at this past year. The Center for Homeland Defense and Security documented 249 shootings in schools in 2021 alone. 9 of those active shooters. Our I-Team found experts are calling the violence a ripple effect from the pandemic.
It's a hard video to watch, but more than 30,000 people have, after a desperate mom pleading for change posted footage of her daughter being beaten by a classmate.
Kind of makes me feel a little helpless.
Nikki Martin's daughter goes to Hepzibah Middle School, but over the past several months, she's seen a shift.
I have noticed that since the pandemic, there has been more issues in general with people. Agitated.
Several months ago during virtual learning, she noticed a change in her daughter's behavior and tried to find out what was wrong.
Then she decided to show me messages that about 4 or 5 kids had been sending her that always ended with, you should jump off a bridge or you should die.
The bullying and violence escalated from there. She says her daughter has been hospitalized for mental health 4 times since then.
Making threats, calling her names, making her feel low, telling her she should die. And it just weighed so heavy on her, she just couldn't cope.
Dale Peoples is a child psychologist at AU Medical Center and has seen the effects of this troubling trend growing since the pandemic began.
It has created a lot of challenges, and I think it, has made for a rocky return for many kids.
Through open records requests, our I-Team found in Columbia County, before the pandemic, the school district documented an average of about 23 fights a month in the 2018-2019 school year. In the following 2 years, the numbers dropped, which is expected with so many learn from home and quarantine days. But this school year, things are back to normal. the district is averaging about 32 fights a month, nearly a 40% increase from pre-pandemic rates. In Aiken County, the district is averaging about 42 fights a month this school year, nearly an 8% increase from pre-pandemic rates. In Richmond County, the data is a little different. We know the number of students disciplined, so we aren't exactly sure how many fights that translates to. But an average of 155 students are being disciplined for fighting each month this school year. Pre-pandemic, it was about 169 per month. School resource officers are seeing the effects and are sounding the alarm.
You have to go all the way back to the beginning of the pandemic, so right at 2 years now, we got into this situation.
In May, the Department of Homeland Security issued this public awareness bulletin warning about the potential for school violence as the U.S. returns to normal from the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond.
We started seeing this pretty significant uptick when we talk about guns in schools around the beginning when schools reopened in the fall.
Compared to pre-pandemic rates, Kennedy says it's off the charts.
Between August 1st and about October 1st, there was about a 300% increase.
At least one of those shootings hit very close to home when 3 students were injured in a shooting on the campus of Orangeburg Wilkinson High School in August. Since the fall of 2020, our I-team found 1 case involving a gun on campus in Columbia County. In Aiken County, we found 6. In Richmond County, we found 7. 4 of those were pellet guns, but one this past semester was listed as a rifle or a shotgun, which is why law enforcement stresses the importance now more than ever. If you see something, say something. And that starts with checking in on our kids' mental health.
Pandemic has taken a toll on all of us, not just my daughter.
Not just the pandemic, but the social unrest. Now we're dealing with a very significant war that's having an impact on all of us. It's almost to me as if those situations prolong getting out of this, whatever getting out of this looks like.
So frustrating for students and their parents.
Right, and they mentioned, a lot of this does start at home. Parents, you may not realize that your kids are picking up on your stress, but if you need help, reach out for help too, because it'll help the whole family.
So the nonprofit Mental Health America ranks Georgia last in access to mental health care, but state lawmakers just approved $100 million for a mental health overhaul in the state. Hopefully that will help turn these numbers around.
That is the hope, and if you need help connecting your child with mental health resources, or if you need them yourself, we posted a link with several services on the Georgia and South Carolina sides of the river. It's on our website, wrdw.com. We've also posted a link to the GBI school threat tip line there as well. Just search for this story by typing in school violence.
To sports now. The Matt Ryan era in Atlanta has ended. We have reaction from around the